think we shall move on to Jessica Lim. So as Swanti already mentioned, she's currently the director for Angkor Photo Festival and Workshop, which takes place annually in Siem Reap, Cambodia. So previously, Jessica was a news and photo journalist in Singapore, and also a photo and news editor at Drik Picture Library in Dhaka, Bangladesh. So this year will be the 16th edition of Angkor Photo Festival, and one of the highlights of the festival is the workshop. Selected participants, 30 participants, Asian photographers, and also with the international mentors as the mentor for the workshop itself. So again, Jessica, we would like to hear your presentation, how you started with the initiative, and then how you maintained the workshop and the festival during these years, and how you adapt with the current situation, and then also the challenging, I mean, like the photography itself is keep developing and evolving, and then how you sometimes you replace the mentor itself. So it's very interesting. So please, Jessica.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to say first, thank you everyone for being in this virtual room with all of us today. I find it very comforting to know that there are so many of us connected together at this time. And it just started to rain where I am, so I hope the audio is not going to be too affected by it. Well, I'll speak up a little bit. So yes, as Okky has said, I work with the Angkor Photo Festival and workshops. I have a little presentation here, but just to give a bit of a background, I joined this event in 2010, and at that time I was the coordinator. So I have only been the director for the last 2 years, so this would be my third year as the director. I would say that for me, it's kind of interesting because it's the same event, but the experience has been very, very different, very challenging. And one of the things that keeps me going are people like you, Okky, and Ben, and the whole alumni, and the community, and the family. And it's really so nice to see all your faces again. And Rosa, earlier, I forgot to say something because I was in the middle of getting the presentation ready, but I was like, that's Rosa's face. So that was really nice. But okay, I'm going to try the screen share screen thing. Is this correct? No. Oh, shit. Hold on, I think I got to stop it. Okay, is this better now? Yeah, okay. How do I get? So the Angkor Photo Festival, the aim of the festival is to nurture Asia's photographic community. When Ben was talking, it struck me that I really appreciate what he's able to do on a local level because he lives where he's creating this event. And it occurred to me that what the festival does is quite different because we are once a year. So what we do is actually we are a space. It is a bit of a one time a year kind of a platform or hub or space of bringing together people from all over Asia through the joint festival and workshop that we organize. So a little bit of history for those of you who might not know. The festival actually started in 2005 by a group of international photographers that would meet up in Siem Reap every year. The first thing that they did actually was to launch the workshops. And from the workshops, the rest of the events grew, meaning the exhibitions and the projections. But the workshop has always been the main reason that we exist at all in the first place. What they wanted to do at that time in 2005, which is a very different landscape from today, was just simply to provide photographic training. There was a very strong emphasis on reportage, very strong emphasis on journalism, documentary. All of that has changed over the years, just simply because the industry itself has developed and we have tried to catch up with it based on what the photographers in the region are interested in, what the demand is like. And so as a result, our programming has changed to reflect that as well. So this year is indeed the 16th edition. And I wanted to share a little bit about, these are the 4 main core values about what we do. The most important thing is that we are non-commercial. that has always been a very strong core principle that we've had, and I'm very proud that we've worked very hard to maintain that. Accessibility just simply means that we want people to feel really welcome in order to join us. Like, you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm a newcomer, I'm too young. We don't want people to feel that way. We want people to feel welcome regardless of who they are, where they're from, what stage of photography they might be, as long as they just want to join with the event. We are also focused on, right now, since the last 3 years, we are focused on giving voice to Asian curators. So if you look at the guest curators that we've invited to the program the last couple of years, we've kind of started to look deeper within the Asian community. So this has been quite a deliberate change in focus for us. And one of the main differences that we started to do was that we started to have daytime activities, which is something that we didn't have at the beginning, meaning portfolio reviews, talks, and presentations. At the beginning, when the festival first started, it was mainly evening events, like exhibition openings and projections, but we started to introduce other professional activities as well. So since 2005, now we have about 450 alumni from the workshops. I'll talk more about the workshops later on, from all over Asia. As you can see, it's like over 30 Asian countries. So one of the things that we've been able to accomplish by being around for 16 years is that we've been able to evolve very organically, because we've had people from the beginning of the event, meaning from 2005, 6, 7 onwards, and even later, they themselves go through their career, they learn, they grow as photographers, and now they are able to come back as tutors and mentors in themselves, or participating photographers, so on and so forth. So this is actually one of the things that we are working on, which is to create a very self-sustainable model where we want to replace ourselves with the younger generation. We want to be fresh all the time. We need new ideas. We need fresh blood, all the time. And I think that the model has worked out very well for us. And so if you look at the mentors that we are having, we have also started, well, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it this year, but one of the plans that we have is to create more space for the alumni to return in a mentor capacity. But this year, as you can imagine, with the COVID-19 situation, the expansion plans are going to be temporarily put on hold, but hopefully we're going to be able to do that sooner rather than later. So just to give those of you who might not have been to the event before a little bit about what goes on, this is what we call the festival. Actually, everything is one big happy family, but the festival just basically means things that are open to the public. So like, for example, we have projection evenings over here. This is being held in the bamboo stage. Everything is very casual. Obviously, everything is free. We just want people to feel comfortable and get together to look at photography. This is an exhibition from last year that was organized by the Vietnamese collective, Matka. So Matka, Hadao, and Lin, they were also in the workshop. So it was really nice to have them back, not only as to present the exhibition, but they were also our guest curators last year. We also have exhibitions. So this is Senthil from India, who was also in the workshop, and he was one of the exhibiting photographers last year. And like I mentioned earlier on, we are doing more afternoon activities. So this is the portfolio session that we had, portfolio review session that we had going on last year. Our portfolio reviews are provided for free as well to anyone who wants to show their work to professionals to get some feedback. And last but certainly not least, the workshops. So this is one of the fun group pictures that we took at the end of the workshop on the last day last year of the 15 batch of workshop participants. Like Okky mentioned, every year that we select 30. We are playing around with the number a little bit based on budget, but I think for this year, we're going to keep to the same number while we wait for the crazy year of 2020 to pass. And just to get a little bit into what the workshops are like. So the unique thing about the workshops is that it's really the glue that holds us all together. And I really can't emphasize how important this thing is. We've kept it tuition free so that we want to reduce financial obstacles as much as we can. We understand that people still need to raise money to come here. You still need money to eat. But we hope that by raising funds to make it tuition free, it helps to mitigate those obstacles as much as possible. The other thing that we do that I've been told is quite unique is that we work very hard to focus on the individual. It is the tutors and the mentors all have this in common. They believe in nurturing the unique voice of each individual and to help you to find what that voice is. It's a very intangible skill. It's very hard to quantify, and it's something that can only happen in a very intense and intimate setting, which is why the workshop is only 5 days, in which they have to finish an entire photo story from start to finish. It is very difficult to do. I don't think I personally could do it, to be honest. I don't know how other people, I don't know how all these participants do it year after year, but they get through it, and I hope that they come out of it better at the end. But I do understand that it's a very intense, very difficult workshop for a lot of people to go through. So I still think that most of the young people I meet are always up for a challenge. So I hope that when we do announce our open call, we will have more submissions from Indonesia this year. I'm always trying to push for more submissions every time, all the time. So these are just some pictures from last year of the tutors. There's a lot of, there are group sessions, and then there's also one-on-one as you go out to shoot and come back and do your editing process. The tutors basically guide you. Oh, I think okay, I'll just keep going. The tutors basically guide you through the entire process of choosing the story, finding the focus, going out to shoot, editing the sequence, and finishing it as a complete slideshow for public presentation within the week. One of the things I wanted to mention before I'm almost done actually, but the unique thing I've been very heartened by over the years is every time we send out the workshop feedback, a very common thing that I hear is that it's life-changing. And that's very stressful for me because I understand that it's a very important thing for people to go through, and I really want to make sure that they get the best experience that they can. I find that the feedback that we get from people who are in the workshop, you can divide it into 2 sections. One is about their approach to photography, meaning the way that they think about photography, the way that they approach it, the way they conceptualize their stories, how they shoot, so on and so forth. But then more importantly, there's the other side of it, which is about themselves. Because at the end of the day, you know, it is about you as a person. So I find that the people who leave with the most satisfying experiences are the ones that discovered something about themselves that they didn't know before, that they found out where their limits were, they found out what their biases were, what their prejudices were. They were challenged on things and forced to think about things in a different way. And I think that this is for me the most important part about what we do at the workshops. So this is I think this is the second last slide, just to show the nice group photo that we took at the end of last year. I think there are some familiar faces in there for some of you. And last but not least, that's my email for anybody who might want to contact me for whatever reason, and our website to follow us on for when we announce for the applications, which is supposed to happen in the first week of June. So, yeah, okay. That's all from me for now. I need to stop the screen share.
Thank you, Jessica. It's very interesting. But also you mentioned it's quite daunting when you mentioned about that the workshop is focused on the individual, and then how the mentors and also the workshop is about nurturing the individual as a photographer, but which is the workshop should be one-on-one, and it's very impossible to do it online in this pandemic time, right? So
yeah,
so it's like
yeah, it is. Well, I wouldn't say it's impossible. There has been a question of structuring it in a way that you can create that intimacy. Like I still think it's possible. You know, we just haven't done it that way before. But I'm sure if we had to, we could find a way to do it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you. But going back to you again about the you mentioned about the sustainable model and also the organic model, which is that's why you maintain it the workshop until 16 years. So thank you, Jessica.